Good afternoon from Tel Aviv, Israel. What I'm going to show you now is kind of an history that will happen in about a few hours, but on the way you will see some of the not necessarily the most beautiful streets of Tel Aviv, but there's a magic everywhere in Tel Aviv. Then in that case, we are at Nahalat Binyamin, which is a lovely street with beautiful houses, and there is an art fair twice a week. But now it's a little bit empty, and we are starting a tour. It's August 1st, 2024. 2 days ago, Israel eliminated two of the major terrorists of Hezbollah and Hamas, and we are expecting to enjoy a shower of missiles in the next few days from Iran, Yemen. I'm not sure from Gaza, because I think Gaza is already dead lost. Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. But we got used to it, and thank you for actually talking about it with me. But yes, I am a little bit afraid, but I got used to live like that. Now this is the beautiful corner, but you can see that something is happening here. And yes, they are building the light rail, the second one in Tel Aviv, and you can see that we are at the corner of Allenby and Nahalat Binyamin. Allenby was the British general who occupied the city from the country from the Ottomans after 400 years of controlling Israel. And we are next to the Carmel market. Then let me show you a little bit of it. But before that, you can see that that man is putting the tefillin on his head. I'm sure that if you're watching my videos of Jerusalem, you know what I'm talking about. But what is important for me is that the sign. You can see there a rabbi and 3 words in Hebrew and a crown. Long live the Messiah. Now I know that for the Christians, the Messiah is a totally different thing, but for the Jews, it's a totally different thing too. Then in that case, according to the Chabad organization, this is not less than the Messiah, and the Messiah lived in Brooklyn, and they believe that one day he will appear again at Brooklyn, and then he will come back to Israel. And a little bit of the market. Then a little bit of the market is in front of you. We call it Pichetes. It used to be a lot of fruit and vegetables and meat and fish, but nowadays, because we don't have a lot of fruit or vegetables in Israel, because of the war, the northern part of Israel is target for the terrorists of Hezbollah of Lebanon. Then, as you can see, they change it into t-shirts and small things that you don't need in your houses, but it's beautiful. At nighttime, and this is more important, there's a lot of excellent bars and restaurants around it. The market itself is less interesting, but what is interesting is actually everything around it. Now, when I told you that it's like a little bit of history here, it's history for me. Not for you, but it's actually lovely to see, and you can actually say that you saw the last buses in that street. But let's describe you what's happening here and why they're not maintaining that street. They're not maintaining that street because for the next 5 years it's going to look like that. But when they will operate the light rail, those buildings will be so expensive. Then in that case, that street will be quite rich and beautiful, and they will renovate it, as I believe. Now, that street won't exist from tomorrow. then buses like that or like that won't be able to be part of that street. Then this is history. But the history is an excuse to talk about that lousy place, which will be very important soon because of so many reasons. I will talk about it. But first, Schenken Street is a very chic street with excellent coffee places, a lot of boutique shops. Then don't miss Schenken Street. But I'm going to King George Street. King George Street doesn't sound like a Jewish name, King George. It sounds like more like British king. That is correct. This is Schenken Street. Wait, the sun is in our eyes, but you can see here Schenken Street and King George Street. In Hebrew, it's Amelech George. But let me move to the shade, to the other side, until I will move to the other side because it's not really, I cannot do that now. But again, say hello and goodbye to bus number 82 that reached Petah Tikva. In about 4 hours from now, we won't be able to be here. And again, number 61 who reached Ramat Gan, a city next to Tel Aviv. Last hours of S, it's gonna be, it's gonna be dead end. And this is the street that I live, not in that part, the other part. Then in that case, the value of that street will be better. The prices will jump up because it's gonna be more quiet, not as dusty and polluted with the noisy buses. And it's still next to the center of Tel Aviv, and you will see it soon. That area is, I call it the market, part 2 of the market. It's all about cheap clothes for daily, mainly for daily use, but not only. Imagine that street, it might be more quiet. The only cars that will be here, the cars that are of people who lives in that area and they needs to reach that place. Next to every bus stop, you can see a sign that actually tells you that those few lines are actually those are the last hours of them. יש לך חוברת אחת? And the government is actually delivering a nice booklet of of everything that you must know about it. Yes. Yeah, then here's the one who actually can explain us what will happen, where those buses will move. The routes will be different. They know everything about it. Remember that I mentioned that it's kind of a second market, and you can see that street. We call it Betzalel Market. For daily use, if you are washing and if you're cleaning your apartment, this is excellent. Prices are in shekel, and for right now, it's 3.6 shekel, something like that, per $1. Then maybe it's not. Then in that case, let's say it's less. It's something like $4.50, 20 shekels. Then everything is cheap. Prices in Israel are quite expensive. To buy things, I'm trying to buy it only at the sale time. Are the people ready for the action that will be here in Israel? Yes. We got used to it. I know that for you it sounds strange. Last time that Iran tried to bomb Israel, she sent more than 300 rockets and drones through Israel, and lucky us, nothing happened. Let's talk about shops. In the city, Tea Time, it's a grocery shop that open mostly 24 hours a day, but I'm not sure. But it's not a kosher grocery shop that if you want shrimps, pork, this is your place. It's not a big chain, but you can find it especially in cities like Tel Aviv that kosher is not part of the system here. Fruit and vegetable and orange juice and all those kind of juice are it's very popular in Israel. Why do you see so many boxes on the street? Because it's the end of the day, and soon they will, the city hall will come to collect it. And as I remember correctly, they are going to or sell it again or turn it into something more suitable. Another one. I must say that it's very tasty. Oh, this is a great place. It's falafel, ratzon falafel, and the good thing in it that it's only 8 shekels for the falafel, pita bread with falafel, and this is cheap. The rest of the prices can reach 20, 25, even 30 shekels for just a pita with falafel without any drink, no sit. You just take and go and eat. And always when you're traveling around, look for hidden places. Now let's go. Let's cross the street into that small alley. I mean, if they will renovate the houses, it's gonna be beautiful. I mean, look at that houses after renovations. Amazing, isn't it? But I think in every city, if you will turn right and left, you will find something else. Graffiti tells you that the city hall really doesn't mind of that street now because they're building the light rail, and they later on, when it's going to be very expensive, the city hall will take care of it because they're going to get a lot of money from the taxes. It's 92 degrees now, 35 degrees or 32 degrees. Yeah, 32 degrees. It's so humid, I'm sweating as hell. Look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Look at the lion, and where's the cat? Yes. Can you see the cat? And the lion? Amazing, isn't it? It's a nice building. Totally not well maintained. And this is so sad. I love that alley. It's called Simta Plonit. The story tells us that when they built that neighborhood, Rokach, one of the most important, no, Shapira, one of the most important people who actually built a lot of houses here, decided to build his mansion here, and then he decided to name that street by his own name, and Dizengoff, the mayor of Tel Aviv, didn't like that idea. Then he kind of cursed those alleys, and he called it by the name like Joe Doe. But it's beautiful. It's such beautiful. And the sun is in our eyes. Then we are moving to the other side of the street. when we are crossing the road, those cars must stop, and he did. Number 48, which usually reach Ramat Hasharon, won't be here anymore. Oh yeah, I promised to talk about King George. King George was a British king at 1916, and then at 1916 the British declare of the upcoming Israel. Sadly, at the end of the... Alright, you didn't see that I actually crossed on the red light. At the end, the British divided Israel into two. One was Israel, and the other part was Palestine. But Palestine, it's another name to the Jewish land, but they had to give a name to the Muslims who lived here. Then they chose Palestine because that was the name of Israel from 2nd century AD, many years before the Muslims and even the Christians. No, the Christians no, but the Muslims actually was born. It's the end of the day, and you can see that people are saying goodbye and going back home. Number 61, Ramat Gan. And this is my coffee corner. Why it's there? Because everyone knows each other, you know, it's like a neighborhood place. And the prices are quite cheap. It's like 20-30% less than any other coffee chain. Someone must clean his car. And look to the left, a nice garden next to my house. Let us enter for a few minutes. There's so many activities here for the Tel Avivis, but not today. Bicycle lane is to the left. And here to the right, you cannot see it, but it's a dog garden, dog park. Let me show you a little bit of it. Soon you will see, but look at beautiful the ficus trees. My dog is not so happy with that park, mainly because she's afraid from other dogs. You can see that people are really enjoying that place. There's a lot of activities for different ages. A nice pond, but ecological pond. Lovely, isn't it? It's called Meyer Garden. And for so many years it used to be closed. There's a fence. Usually the gardens are open 24 hours a day. That one was surrounded with a fence, mainly because at winter time that used to be kind of a huge pond, really big one, and people could drown here. Then the city hall took care of it. Now the only leftover of it is a kind of a memorial pond that they kept here. The situation is quite okay now. And let me show you kind of secret trees, which I'm happy that they didn't cut when they built that street at the 1920, something like that. If you want to ride a bicycle from the city hall, you can. But from today you need to have a register number each one of the scooters, the electric scooter, electric bicycles like he. I don't know if he's got it. If not, he might get a ticket. No, I don't see is. Oh, I think they didn't take it as something important. But I hoped that the City Hall will do something with it. Lampur is a very good Asian restaurant, chef restaurant, not cheap. But look at those fig trees in the middle of the road. Those fig trees were planted million years before Tel Aviv. And hello and goodbye bus number 18 from Tel Aviv to Bat Yam. Then they didn't cut those trees. There are 7 fig trees here. The fruit are making a lot of problems when they are falling to the ground, and it's a little bit stinky, but it's very important for us because one of the prophets of Israel used to harvest those trees, and for the Christians, Zacchaeus climbed a fig tree at Jericho. You will see a lot of signs here because we still have 115 people who've been kidnapped by Hamas in October 6, and the yellow strings actually mark it. Today, it's unbelievable. I cannot even say it. 300 days they are in captive somewhere in Gaza. Not all of them are alive, but they're still there. And this is something that I cannot forget. Then if someone support Palestine, and he actually meant by that support Hamas, I'm so against you. I am so against you. Totally against you. I cannot even think about you. Someone who supports terrorism is not part of my lexicon, not part of my diary. That skyscraper is of the Likud movement, the Likud party. Then from time to time the Prime Minister Netanyahu is reaching here. Another bus that won't be here soon. And look at this Bauhaus building, built for the first women workers at the beginning of the century. I'm talking about 20th century. Look how beautiful it is. It's mostly Bauhaus. And building a new building on top of my supermarket that used to be here, but I wanted to see something important. See those in the middle, there's kind of a metal thing. This is a bomb shelter. A call from the 80s. By law, you must build a bomb shelter in each apartment in Israel. A bomb shelter in each apartment of Israel. Then, bus station, that one and that one. The other one are not going to exist from tonight. This is the bad part of King George Street, and another falafel, a good one. And that costs 22 shekels. The owner and I love Gary Newman. Then it's funny, but I'm buying here a lot of falafel because the quality is amazing. And from time to time I don't have time to stand in the line. The other one. Then I'm buying that falafel, but I knew about Gary Newman only when we found ourselves together at the same shelter when the terrorists of Gaza bombed us, I think 5 years ago. And I don't know how, but we reached Gary Newman. From that day, he always gave me another bowl of falafel. Now that area is quite a nice area. It looks like a nice square, but it is a square because at the Second World War, the Italian bombed that place and killed 100 Tel Aviv citizens. Then we kept that place empty. There are no houses in that area for kind of a memorial thing. In front of you is shawarma. I cannot see any more shawarma because in every tour that I'm taking the tourists, what they want is shawarma. Now the way to the sea, let's say 10 minutes by walking and you will reach one of the most beautiful seashores of Tel Aviv, and we have a lot of them. The culture square that includes a theater and a philharmonic hall is 2 minutes walking from here, and in front of you, you won't be able to see it now, but you will see it soon. It's one of the shopping malls of Tel Aviv. All right, that part of the street still exists. I mean, the buses will still be able to reach because they are turning left here until, see number 82? He will reach from here and then turn left. From that junction to the market, no buses will be. Guess who is happy? A nice bakery, a very nice one, kosher one, then it's not open on Saturday, Friday night and Saturday. And you won't find there, let's say, pepperoni, pizza, I don't know, bread. And this is the entrance to my shopping mall. Remember the noise? Do you hear the noise now? We won't hear that noise soon. I mean, I won't hear that noise soon because in my part of the street there will be no buses. We started from the tefillin, one tefillin to another, and Dawn, I know that you like ice cream, that I forgot to mention the ice cream, Marie Dawn, ice cream that you saw, but there's an ice cream stall there, not the best one. Then this is the shopping mall on both sides of the street. And you can see how crazy it is here, and it won't be as crazy as here in my part of the street. Guys, it was a pleasure to be with you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see at least, soon it's going to be 21,000 videos of the Holy Land, not only of Tel Aviv. Then thank you very much, and let's hope that you won't hear anything bad about what's happening in Israel from the side of the terrorists of Iran, Lebanon, and Gaza, and Yemen. Let's hope that we will find a solution for everything. Bye bye to everyone.